Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here. So today, we're focusing on a motorcycle that is literally challenging everything we thought we knew about the adventure riding industry. For a really long time, the unwritten rule in the ADV world was simply that bigger is inherently better, right? Bigger engines, bigger fuel tanks, bigger footprints. But the 2025 KTM 390 Adventure R is stepping onto the stage to completely disrupt that heavy ADV norm. We're going to break down the specs, the design, and the real-world review data to see exactly how this machine is rewriting the rulebook. Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today's Explainer. We'll cover the lightweight revolution, the heart of the machine, mastering the terrain, smart tech and electronics, comfort and rally styling, and then we'll wrap it up with the final verdict. Let's jump right in. I want to start by posing this fundamental question. Must an adventure bike be massive to actually be capable? I mean, for years, riders have wrestled 5, 6, or even 700-pound motorcycles down tricky single-track trails, fighting all that weight every single step of the way. But what if you just didn't have to? What if you could have all the technological sophistication of a massive flagship adventure bike, but in a package that doesn't completely intimidate you the second the pavement ends? And that brings us perfectly to this quote from Cycle World's review of the 390 Adventure R. They wrote, "Maybe less really is more." And honestly, this is the core thesis of our explainer today. This sub-400cc motorcycle isn't just some entry-level stepping stone. It is fundamentally shifting our perception of what a lightweight bike can do, and it's even challenging the much more expensive middleweight offerings out there on the market. All right, Section 1, the lightweight ADV revolution. So KTM has brilliantly utilized their 390 platform, dropping their updated LC4C engine into 5 different bikes now. But for 2025, they've completely revamped their adventure lineup with 2 very distinct flavors, the Adventure X and the Adventure R. The X model is your highly approachable street-focused machine. It's got a lower 825mm seat and 19-inch front, 17-inch rear wheels. But the R model, which is what we're zeroing in on today, is an entirely different beast. It is built with a hardcore off-road focus. We're talking true, dirt-ready 21-inch front and 18-inch rear steel-spoked wheels, plus a taller 870mm seat height just to accommodate its massive suspension travel. This isn't just a styling package, folks. It's a targeted engineering purpose. Moving right along to Section 2, heart of the machine. You know, a motorcycle is really only as good as its engine. Looking at the hard numbers here, we have a 399cc liquid-cooled dual overhead cam single-cylinder engine. It pumps out a very healthy 44 horsepower at 8,500 RPM and roughly 28.8 pound-feet of torque at 7,000 RPM. Add in a 12.6-to-1 compression ratio, a 6-speed transmission, and a slipper clutch, and well, these are sporty numbers. They tell us right away that this engine likes to breathe. But the crucial point is how those numbers actually translate out there in the real world. According to the test riders over at Cycle World, this engine is incredibly zippy and quick revving. Since it doesn't rely on that massive low-end tractor torque like a heavyweight ADV, it really rewards an active rider. You're going to want to keep this engine spun up in the mid to top end of the rev range. On tight off-road terrain, that means actively managing the revs and slipping that incredibly light assist clutch. But out on the fire roads or some twisty pavement, oh, it loves to be wrung out right to the rev limiter. It brings a genuinely sporty, aggressive character to lightweight adventure riding. Okay, Section 3, mastering the terrain. Now, a sporty engine is awesome, but it honestly means nothing if the frame beats you to pieces on a washboard dirt road. The suspension specs are where the 390 Adventure R truly distances itself from the competition. It boasts a 43mm WP Apex open cartridge fork and a WP Apex shock, and both of them provide a massive 9.1 inches or 230mm of suspension travel. To put that into perspective, that is a 30mm jump over the outgoing model. Plus, both the front and rear are highly adjustable. The fork gives you 30 clicks of compression and rebound adjustment, while the rear shock features preload and 20 clicks of rebound adjustment. You can literally dial this bike in exactly to your weight and the specific terrain you're hitting. And when you pair that premium suspension with the newly beefed-up steel trellis frame, the result is just remarkable handling. Cycle World pointed out that the chassis is incredibly planted and stable. The bike doesn't flex or wallow when you hustle it through corners. In fact, their reviewers stated, when the terrain is relatively smooth, the 390 performs like a mini rally replica. You can charge down two-track roads at actual highway speeds, and the bike remains completely composed. No way you're doing that comfortably on a budget suspension. Let's look at Section 4, Smart Tech and Electronics. So there has long been this assumption that smaller displacement bikes automatically means stripped-down budget electronics. Well, KTM completely threw that idea out the window. The absolute standout feature here is the 3D Inertial Measurement Unit, or IMU. This enables lean-sensitive traction control and ABS. That is tech usually reserved for flagship motorcycles that cost twice as much. You get 3 distinct ride modes: street, off-road, and rain. And crucially for the adventure riders out there, the off-road ABS lets you entirely disable the ABS at the rear wheel. That means you can lock it up and slide into corners on the dirt, all while a relaxed, dirt-specific ABS keeps you safe up front. And the whole shebang is controlled through a gorgeous brand new 5-inch full-color TFT display with Bluetooth. It is incredibly well equipped. Section 5. Comfort meets rally styling. Now, let's take a look at how all this technology is physically wrapped up, and how it actually sits the rider. Just look at that aggressive front end. The tall, non-adjustable windscreen and that rally-style tower immediately tell you this bike is built for the dirt. But it's not just about looking cool. That fairing provides excellent wind protection on the highway without causing that annoying head buffeting. The bodywork itself is incredibly slim. It's actually even narrower between the legs than its dual-sport sibling, the 390 Enduro R. This narrow profile, combined with a wide aluminum tapered handlebar and grippy foot pegs, creates a rider triangle that gives you maximum leverage and comfort. Doesn't matter if you're sitting down eating up highway miles or standing up on the pegs in the dirt, it just fits. And then there is this magic number, 388. That is the curb weight in pounds, fully fueled with its 3.7-gallon tank, 388 pounds. This is the absolute key to why this bike works so incredibly well. When you inevitably drop the bike on a trail, you can actually pick it up yourself. When you hit deep sand, it floats rather than sinking like a stone. It entirely removes that massive intimidation factor that comes with heavy 500-plus pound adventure bikes. It's a total game changer. And of course, we absolutely can't ignore the price. Coming in at an MSRP of $6,999, the value proposition here is just staggering. You are getting top-tier WP Apex adjustable suspension, lean angle-sensitive electronics, and genuine off-road capability, all for a fraction of the cost of those larger machines. Which brings us to our final section, the final verdict. When we synthesize all the spec sheet data and the real-world performance reviews, what is the ultimate takeaway for us? First off, this is a bike built for the real world. A really important number for actual owners is 10,000. After the initial break-in, the 390 Adventure R boasts 10,000 kilometers, or roughly 6,200-mile service intervals. So despite being a lightweight, high-revving thumper, it is seriously engineered for long-haul reliability. You can absolutely tour on this machine without a second thought. And that leads us to our final thought for today. The 2025 KTM 390 Adventure R completely proves that you do not need a massive engine to have a massive adventure. By combining a spirited engine, class-leading suspension, and premium electronics into a highly manageable 388-pound package, KTM has created a machine that isn't just a great lightweight bike, it's a great adventure bike, period. So based on everything we've looked at today, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Are you ready for a new kind of adventure? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you on the next one.